everyone, welcome to the Learning Forward Saturday show. Every week we travel across the world and try and meet passionate educators and try and find out what keeps them going despite all the challenges we face in the world. On my show today, we have an entrepreneur, a person who understood the role of technology in our lives 3 decades back, who understands what pre-press is, a person who understands digital publishing. It's an honor and privilege to have you with us. We would like you to share your passion for education with us.
You guys have set me up to fail, so I'm already behind the 8 ball, as they say on the pool game in America. But thank you for having me on this show. It's a unique experience. In terms of learning, continuous learning, I think that's life, where we learn from our mistakes and we learn from our experiences. So that's a continuing effort. Education has been sort of, I would say, something that's come up more relatively recently in my life as part of my business, which started with applying digital technology in our lives. I mean, I had an email address, and I am really involved in bringing digital education or digital learning tools to the industry, which is still way behind compared to other industries in adopting technology. My opinion, I'm sure there are facts either way. And from what I see, which I think is very interesting, Sandeep, not to put a plug for you, but this concept of happy teachers, I think is something that a lot of technology has forgotten. A lot of the money seems to be put into an effort, seems to be put into replacing teachers. Whereas I think if you're in the education sector, most will say that without the educationist, without the educator, without the teacher, you are not going to succeed in achieving what is required. And therefore, we have really modified what we've been doing towards building digital platforms, digital tools that will help teachers and educators be more effective and make the learning process far more engaging than it is traditionally and continues to be. Today, a lot of online education is nothing but staring at videos. Even here when I talk to you, I'm looking outside the window. My mind is wandering, looking at the green grass. I'm thinking about my golf tee time in about 45 minutes. Whereas if I had to engage with the device and be on a video and I'm playing, interacting with it, my mind ain't going to be outside the window. It's going to be looking at the screen and engaging with the screen, engaging with whatever, whether it's a computerized database that is reactive and responsive, or a human being, I'm engaged. So that's sort of where I am a little bit in terms of wanting to be a part of the education process and bring technology to the fingertips and to the minds of educators. So I'm just a little conduit, a tool which we hope will help educators educate more effectively, more efficiently, and for a learning outcome which brings happiness and learning to the children and to the teachers. Again, by accident, I'm not an engineer. It happened per chance. I was selling manhole covers, exporting manhole covers from Lilwa, Howrah to the West Coast, to Utah, to Virginia. So it was a far cry from a very mundane old technology industry to move into the digital space. We were part of the basic digitization of all the content that we take for granted on the web today. Anyways, so about 15 years ago, I was working with textbook publishers in the pre-press, helping them create books. And I realized, and I'm not going to take names, but universally, and this was the tragedy for me, universally, I saw that publishers were really not interested in education. In my view, they were interested in printing books or printing PDFs updating them and doing deals with the schools, the school districts, or the government authorities, with the exam boards, NXL, wherever they were, to get their books bought. That was it. That was the limit of education, of interest in education. The amount of money they put on the editorial efforts, minimum. What they could do to make a volcano come alive, the computer graphics, they weren't interested. Just give us a simple sketch. I said, guys, you could put all kinds of technology in there to show the formation of a young fold mountain. Not interested. To make hydrogen go pop with a blue flame and water being created. Not interested. So that sort of got me really interested in education. We've come from India, we know about how we looked at education as a way out of poverty, out of progress. So looking at that, I really got involved and interested, and that has taken on to a new level. I had a person who was trying to get something done in digital education. I got involved initially, and then I got deeply involved over the last few years.
Please stay with us. We will be back after a quick commercial break. We believe each person in a school contributes to the culture of your school. School culture is built on the actions and interactions of the people. You make your school stronger by adding value to others and by making others feel valued. We at Learning Forward India help you build learning communities, connect with your stakeholders, and have happy teachers build your My Good School. Do connect with us for path-making programs like Schools Can Change, the Happy Teachers Learning Program, and above all, the Better Learning Outcomes My Good School program. Happy learning. Have a great day. Vinit, you have given us very interesting conversation on how you got dragged or how technology pulled you in and you wanted to apply technology for the happiness of teachers. This is what really interests us, and I'm glad we have a meeting point. So I want to question you on this. Education methodologies have transformed from teacher-centric to child-centric. What is your view on this?
I think, okay. Now I'm loving this. One reason I'm on this podcast is you're making me think. So, if that's the case, I believe education is to serve the children because it's the learning outcome they're looking for. But you have to make it, the processes need to be more focused on helping teachers deliver the product. And that's where I think there is a significant failure in terms of getting the education sector involved that way. And I see this as we work in our little business to get teachers engaged, there seem to be a lot of administrative and bureaucratic failings that prevent teachers from wanting to apply technology, from taking a risk, from broadening their horizons. Being given to digital learning platforms in schools and the schools touting what they have or what they're trying to do with technology. But the bottom line is, when we go and engage with teachers, it all goes back, we need to show this to our HOD, we need to talk to our principal. And invariably, it turns out to be a dead end. Because a lot of the entrenched stakeholders do not want change. Change is incremental, change is slow, but they are highly resistant to change, and I believe that's what's stopping the education sector, the learning process. It is preventing the learning forward process, to put in use your terminology. The learning forward process is being stymied, I believe, by the key stakeholders being the administrative procedures or the administrative personnel involved in the education process, be they principals, school superintendents, school districts. It's just not working, and the teachers who are the frontline educators are being forgotten. People are looking to reduce the number of teachers through levels of automation. It doesn't work. I was speaking to a teacher, and he brought up this concept of Guru Dakshina. Spot on. We need the Guru. The child needs the Guru, and we are here to help the Guru. But if the whole thrust is how do I get rid of the Gurus, how do I make the Gurus less important, that is daft in my opinion, and that's a major failing. If I were running a school, I would do everything I could to help the teachers become more effective. And that's contrarian. And the good news is that the teachers who have a level of independence are buying in and loving it. So I think it's just a question of time before the world open their eyes and says, okay, we have to work for our teachers. All this free education, Khan Academy, all these free digital videos are fantastic, but we have to transform what they have or what is present into a way of delivery that helps the teachers. Children have very little, or even young, anybody has a very little attention span, time span at whatever age. We have a limited time attention span. Therefore, in my opinion, you have to engage and use and apply digital technology in today's day and age to make the education process an engaging process. And it's a fun process. And the level of achievement and instant gratification you can get through digital learning is fabulous, both for the teacher and the child. Today, there's ways where the child has answered a question, a class has answered a question, and all their results will be made available instantly for this class to discuss 30 seconds later. We understood statistics, but we didn't understand calculus. So let's focus on calculus. Or you could say these children understood calculus, but these children understood probability. It's fabulous, but no one is thinking about it. And they're going along modifying remote learning a little bit, but not truly applying and thinking out of the box. And that's what's really restricting education. And that's what's driving me to show people. And if I'm a pioneer, I don't intend to be slaughtered. A carpetbaggers behind me will take it. I will continue to be a pioneer if that's what I am, to make this change and help teachers. We need, and again, it's your word, I love it, but it's taken such a deep root in me, the happy teacher. We've got to make the happy teacher, and it's an effective teacher. That's what we want. Because in order to be effective, you do need to be happy. So we do this. And I know there are so many ways in which digital learning, digital technology can be applied to achieve that. So
thank you, Vinit. I'm glad someone says that education has to be teacher-centric. And this echoes the work which Learning Forward does. We are grateful to you for your time and for actually helping us focus more. As we come to one of the last episodes of our Learning Forward series, we have perhaps discovered what is the challenge after speaking to over 100 educators. The challenge lies in making teachers first. So it's beautiful. Teachers first and the way to go. Thank you so much for your time with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Frank. I'm an English teacher, exam expert, and host of the podcast What You Say in English, where you can appear as my guest speaker, so I give you professional feedback on your speaking skills by telling you how to improve your grammar and lexical control, discourse management and pronunciation to become the speaker you want to be. You can find me on all major podcast platforms. Just go to anchor.fm/whatyousayinenglish to get started. That's anchor.fm/whatyousayinenglish. Let me and the world listen to what you say in English.